Hey everyone, it's 7Demo7 and this is my buddy Riff. Now Riff is one of the most passionate RC modelers I've ever met. He was kind enough to invite me over to his house to tour his man cave and invite you guys in to see the models that he's collected over the years and what is possible if you have hard work and a lot of determination.
When we first moved to San Diego, I was a young kid, and probably, was I third grade or something? We moved right by Miramar Air Base.
Oh wow! Yeah.
I had the luxury of hearing F4 Phantoms in the pattern and Tomcats every night,
Mm-hmm.
A4 Skyhawks, and that's all it took. I loved airplanes ever since then. I went as far as getting my commercial license, my instrument rating, and all that stuff.
Oh really?
And you know, flying's expensive as a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always had a love for the RCs when I was a kid. Any kind of RC, didn't matter what it was, cars, airplanes, whatever, but definitely airplanes, but harder thing to tackle. But over the time, I learned how to do that, and that was a great pacifier for the real thing. Now that I don't fly the real thing anymore, I guess you could say that's kind of my free ticket, you know, with the wife. She has the understanding that that's my passion and that I can't do it for a living or anything else.
And
so
it's not going to kill you either.
No, and it's not going to kill, yeah, and I love flying. I just love the feeling of controlling the airplanes out there, and I can't wait to embark on the FPV aspect of it because I think that's going to bring me back to the true, and that's kind of why I've held off doing the FPV, because I know that once I'm in that seat, I'm not going to want to get out. Yeah. And a lot of these airplanes, whether they have them or not, they're going to get it. Yep. You know, and so the first airplane I ever flew and built was the Gentle Lady. It was very comical. I was in high school with a friend, and we were, you know, once a week meeting up at his house and building this thing. And then we covered it, and then, you know, we were so dorky and dumb back then, didn't know what we were doing. I flew the airplane with monocoat on it, but it had wrinkles. Didn't know that the wrinkles would shrink away until I walked in front of a heater and went, whoa, it tightened up. But that plane survived many attempts at my flying, and then, you know, went from that to a Wanderer, and we even jimmied a few airplanes together, and you know, busted our airplanes back in the. Yeah, you know, if my flying prowess was good enough, if I had one airplane to choose that I would want to get stuck with, it would be probably the A-10 Warthog.
Nice.
That airplane, not only is it, you know, a beautiful plane to see in the sky, it's an easy flyer, and, you know, I mean, you can have a lot of fun with that airplane. You know, that would be my one airplane I'd want to have at the desert island. Looking at an airplane I want to fly, I'll definitely research the crap out of it online. I'll watch them fly. I'll, you know, of course, there are your occasional knee-jerk reactions in buying an airplane that you probably shouldn't have bought. And then you find out later it's a piece of crap and go, why did I buy this thing? But, you know, that happens very little. But for the most part, I'll review everything online. I'll go to RC groups. I'll watch everything on YouTube. Yeah. And, you know, try to make the best and wisest investment you can. When I was learning how to fly, and, you know, this is back in the day of your big giant whip antennas and all that crap, I had a plane called the Freedom back then. It was a big, long, 2-meter delta wing with a T-tail on the back for the elevator. And my biggest blunder ever with that airplane was being at Torrey Pines Cliffs, 350-foot face cliff, and throwing the plane off and forgetting to turn the radio on the airplane inside. So as I realized, you know, my controls aren't doing anything, I looked at my friend, he looked at me, and we just watched the airplane gently, gracefully just go into the side of the cliff and just into a million pieces. And, you know, balsa wood isn't like foam. It doesn't resist those crashes. That was a you know, good lesson learned the hard way. And then some rope climbing gear to go get my radio gear, and that was it. So my preference, you know, with airplanes, as you can see up here, most of these are either foam or are you know, almost ready to fly kits. Almost ready to fly kits is kind of my limit anymore. I don't want to sit there and, you know, stand up ribs and glue them all together. I mean, in the day it was okay, and you had the time and it was fine, but I don't have the time anymore. So my last plane I built was this right here, the Tercel. This was a kit from, you know, wood, and you just put it together and cover it and everything else, and that was probably my last venture. I don't think I'll be building another wood kit again. Yeah, so Whether foam or balsa, I'm not discriminate for either one.
Yeah.
I like the resilience of the foam.
Right.
But I like the characteristics of the balsa and the way they fly. It's a little more true performance, you know what I mean? Especially if you're doing 3D flying.
Yeah.
Although these aren't bad, you know, like the Edge and this S-Bach is phenomenal.
Right.
Though the S-Bach came with the tail that was droopy.
Yeah.
You know, but it still flies fine. Today's RC world, it's an exciting time. I mean, it's just not like it used to. I mean, you can just see all the things that you wanted as a little kid. You know what I mean? And you look up and you go, I got it.
Yeah.
You know, and I worked hard for these things. And
yeah, that's right.
And I adore all of them.
Yeah,
it's hard to pick one over the other.
So how are you liking the RC coffee chat and the accessibility of some of the YouTube people now? Like, you know, Bruce is doing a lot more question and answers and stuff like that.
I think the live streaming that Matt had, you know, done recently, before it wasn't live. I think that brought us all a little bit step closer together. You know, I'd never spoken with Bruce before until then. Yeah, and I had a chance to thank him for all that he's done for us. Yep. You know, and that was just great. I think it's fantastic. But this will be my trainer to get used to it first. Yeah. And then it's just a massive airplane, man.
That is huge. What does your wife think of the hobby that you're into?
Boy, I would say ask her, because she doesn't complain.
Well, that's nice.
She's like, another one? Like, yeah, and that, you know, that's the extent of it. Yeah. I don't get her telling me it's too much. What are you doing? Are you mad?
You're right. Yeah.
But then again, like I said, she respects my inability to go fly the real things because it costs so much, and this is, you know.
Well, it's your thing too.
Yeah.
I mean,
and this is, she married into it. So
oh, that's good.
It's no surprise. We've been in this house about a year. Well, in July it'll be 2 years. Next July. So this is like the dream garage that I've always wanted. Three-car garage is what I wanted. Yeah. So I could, again, accommodate my hobby. Mm-hmm. I didn't think it'd be this many, but that's how it turned out. So I had to build my own tables out of bits and pieces from Home Depot. Mm-hmm. And
this one actually I've been admiring. So
I put wheels, caster wheels, heavy-duty caster wheels on all of them, varnished them. Yeah. And built them as true as I could for what I could do. Mm-hmm.
So we're coming into kind of the way that you hang all your airplanes, right?
Just think of the Aerospace Museum, and that's it here.
The Aerospace Museum?
Over like that, in DC? Hanging in the ceiling, and that's what I got.
Yeah. So over here, the planes are a little bit more stacked, as you can see. Let's just take a little run down here, and then I'll have Riff tell you about this. Oh, man. We're in foam and balsa heaven right here. Okay, so Riff, tell me, how many planes do you have?
Hanging about 57 or so.
57, yeah, that's a good number.
And then in the pile that you see over here in the corner.
Well, we'll get to that in a second.
All right, we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah, it's another in the 50 range, right?
That's about 50.
Yeah, that's good.
About 50.
And cool, you've got like a rack system going. Those hooks.
If you look up, there's 3 industrial grade racks.
Yeah.
That were ordered. I had to figure out how to do this, you know, and the only thing I could think of was getting some industrial grade materials. Yeah. That could support tons of weight. And
well, I like the bungee idea too. That's
rope
cool.
Actually.
Oh, it's not. So it's just nylon rope.
Fat rope. Well, for some of them, it's, you know, I haven't got them upgraded to the thicker rope. Yeah. To prevent digging into the foam.
Yeah, that's a cool looking. What is that plane again?
This is the Phase 3 F-16 from Hobby People with an upgraded motor. If you can see the motor in there. Yeah. It's supposed to be all souped up and lovely. So. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite type of airplane?
Favorite type? I love soaring.
Yeah.
I grew up soaring at Torrey Mines. That's where I learned to fly, and there's nothing like surfing the sky. Oh, I enjoy the.
It seems to be the quintessential, like. It's almost like surfing, like where you're searching for that perfect thermal.
And it's just not a simple, pull me in, let's go kind of a thing. You really have to, know what you're doing and milk the sky, and it's fun. Sky.
Okay, we got to talk about this this pile.
All right, this pile. It goes back 3D
That's a lot of big boxes, my friend.
Yeah, there's in here we have I'll kind of rattle off a few of them. We have a F4 Phantom from Banana Hobbies. We have two A10s from Banana Hobbies, the big ones.
Oh, really? Yeah.
We have two Super Vipers from Banana Hobby, HSCs. We have a 90mm Viper in there and a 75mm Viper in there. And then we have, what else are fun? ME262 Dynam is in there. The F110 is in there, the twin. Geez, I can go on. There's 57 roughly airplanes in there.
Yeah. Oh my god.
So when I retire, that's it.
You have your plan.
I'm pretty capped. There's not much else I want to buy. I have everything I want. Like I said, the EFX Extra was probably the only other plane that I really wanted because I love the first one so much.
Yeah, Riff and I are huge fans of the EFX Extra and of course the EFX Racer, which is just a fantastic airplane. Explain to me why you have no. Explain to Matt as well why there's no wings.
Okay, why there's no wings? I haven't gotten to that bridge yet. Although I am taking baby steps, and as you saw in the video earlier, there's a Fun Jet and a Radjet, Radjet Ultra, waiting to get built up to terrorize the skies. So now the other thing that you haven't noticed or mentioned yet is there's no FPV equipment here yet.
That is true. I have
nothing. Not one.
Well, that's a whole nother animal.
Yeah. So, and now the reason I haven't embarked onto that yet is because I'm afraid that once I get into the FPV scene, much like Matt, I'll be wanting to tear up the skies, and my whole investment up here will all of a sudden diminish into like, no, I want to go FPV. I don't want to fly this crap.
Well, let me tell you that once you are able to fly with your buddy and take turns leading and follow each other, it's fun.
Yeah,
I
I definitely see the novelty in that.
Yeah.
And that video that Matt had up the other day with his buddy on his 6 o'clock, with his airplane. Yeah. I thought that was phenomenal. I do enjoy the EDFs a lot.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I had the LX A10. Not the best quality airplane, but man, when those things are flying in the sky and you hear those twins just humming, there's nothing like it.
There's something about a twin. Yeah. If it's twin EDF,
twin anything, twin anything.
Yeah,
it's just phenomenal.
Okay, guys, this is Riff. Thanks for showing us your garage, dude.
My pleasure.
We will see you soon, man.
All right, man.
Okay,
see you at the field.